Welcome to a deep dive into the mind of a tech titan. Today, host Nikhil Kamath sits down with Nikesh Arora, the CEO of Palo Alto Networks and a former powerhouse executive at Google and SoftBank. In this high-energy conversation, Nikesh unpacks his incredible journey from growing up in an Indian Air Force family to leading a $100 billion cybersecurity giant. We will explore the frightening new world of professional hacking, why the democratization of intelligence is the biggest paradigm shift since the internet, and the raw truth about navigating corporate politics. Let us jump right in. The conversation kicks off with Nikhil asking about the extreme security at the Palo Alto Networks office. Nikesh explains that as a premier cybersecurity firm, they are the ultimate trophy kill for hackers. But the nature of hacking has fundamentally changed. It is no longer just teenagers in basements looking for bragging rights. It has evolved into a highly lucrative global supply chain attack industry.
We joke in our industry, hacking has gone from a hobby to a profession. You want somebody's information? You can go to the dark web and say, I will pay you $1,000 for Nikhil's social security number or credit card. And somebody will say, I am going to find the easiest way to do that for him.
Nikesh notes that tens of billions of dollars are extorted every year because cybercrime is the lowest conviction vertical in the bad actor industry. It is the digital Wild West, and the threat landscape is about to explode thanks to artificial intelligence. While many fear quantum computing will break modern encryption, Nikesh argues the much more immediate and dangerous threat is the rise of agentic AI.
There are all kinds of different examples, from control systems to industrial systems to robotic systems you can think of, which eventually will want agency. And they will become an interesting place for bad actors to try and take control, because those agents will allow you to act on behalf of whoever's agent you have taken over.
Building on that point, Nikesh explains that today, AI simply answers questions, but soon, inference engines will connect to action engines, allowing AI to plan and execute complex, sequential tasks automatically. If a bad actor hacks your AI agent, they do not just steal your data, they hijack your digital autonomy. From there, the discussion shifts to how AI is about to completely obliterate the traditional user interface.
If you look at the world, 75% of product development in technology is human beings teaching consumers how to interact with back-end engineering databases and transactions. If I have a smart enough capability through a combination of generative AI and workflow automation where I can talk to this without requiring a UI, your entire process of product development is going to change.
Nikhil agrees, noting that while traditional interfaces will die out, certain businesses have a built-in regulatory moat that protects them. Companies that act as a system of record will survive because they hold the main trusted system where critical business data is securely stored and managed. This leads Nikesh to a massive philosophical insight. Historically, power structures relied on hoarding information. The internet dismantled that by democratizing information. Now, AI is poised to democratize intelligence itself, ensuring that every employee or customer service rep has the exact same baseline of perfect memory.
Today, with the internet, there is instant access. So democratization of information allows a whole series of applications and experiences to be built. The question is, does AI democratize intelligence? When intelligence gets normalized, what are the consequences of that? Then nobody is smarter than the other person.
If intelligence is completely normalized across the board, how do individuals and companies stand out? Nikesh argues that the ultimate differentiator will be the ability to solve entirely unknown problems, relying on human creativity to find answers that machines have not yet been trained on. Shifting gears to global innovation, Nikhil asks why so few massive enterprise tech companies emerge directly from India compared to Silicon Valley. Nikesh points to a deep cultural divergence. In Silicon Valley, failure is practically a prerequisite for funding, with investors understanding the common reasons startups crash. In India, however, the culture often dictates the risking children from birth, making massive leaps of faith far less common. Furthermore, Nikesh points out that you cannot build global enterprise software if you have never worked inside the walls of major financial institutions. This naturally transitions into Nikesh's own highly unconventional career path, defying the classic Indian expectation to simply become an engineer or a doctor. He zigzagged from Fidelity to Google to SoftBank, picking up a CFA and an MBA along the way to overcompensate for his youth and lack of traditional polish. When Nikhil asks about navigating corporate ladders, Nikesh drops a masterclass on office politics. He reveals that as you move up, the jobs get fewer, and highly competitive personalities start spending half their time trying to sabotage their peers. Nikesh's secret weapon was aggressive ignorance. There comes a point in your career when 50% of your time is dealing with the two peers to get that one job above you, and you waste a lot of the value the company is creating by playing politics. I have to say, in my life, the best thing I did, and maybe it was an accident, I was naive, was that I completely ignored all this. By putting 100% of his energy into actual work while his rivals only put in 50%, Nikesh simply outpaced them. The discussion then pivots to the modern debate of founder mode versus professional executives. Nikesh clarifies that while founders are brilliant at building consumer products, enterprise businesses require a totally different beast in the enterprise world. A great product is useless without a ruthless go-to-market strategy and financial discipline. Speaking of leadership, Nikhil asks about the legendary mentors Nikesh has worked alongside, specifically Larry Page and Masa son. While Larry Page was absolutely obsessed with product engineering, Masa son operated in a league of his own. Masa possessed a phenomenal risk appetite, acting like a Benjamin Button of business who chased increasingly massive bets in his 50s. Every entrepreneur was trying to take a risk to build a stable business and get rich. Masa the other way around. What are we going to do today? Great. All in. What are you doing tomorrow? I am all in. Masa has a phenomenal risk appetite. And if you look at it, that is the way he has led his life. Closing out the podcast, Nikhil hands Nikesh a hypothetical $100 and asks him to go long on one sector and short on another for the next decade. Without missing a beat, Nikesh says to go long on technology, as it historically absorbs every other sector it touches. But his short position serves as a stark warning for the global economy. On the short side, services has to be a short, right? By definition, the whole idea of services is that we deploy humans towards repetitive tasks where we sell intelligence or process with people. If the impending opportunity in front of us is that process is going to be simplified and overtaken by AI and intelligence is going to be democratized, then there has to be a reshaping of the services economy. And that wraps up an incredibly high-signal conversation. From the terrifying reality of agentic AI to the death of the user interface and the raw truth of corporate ascension, Nikesh Arora provides a masterclass on what it takes to survive and scale in the future of technology.